Hi there, I'm Matt Montgomery. I'm part of the agronomic team here in the central and west central part of the state of Illinois for Pioneer. And today we're in a location where the grower opted not to apply a fungicide for very good reason in this location. But it serves as a great backdrop for us to have the important discussion. What do I do in those fields that I decided to do nothing in? That I decided not to apply a fungicide in, a fungicide like Approach Prima? What do I do in those locations? And I want to talk about that a little bit. But before we do, I want you to notice there's yield potential out here in this field that I'm in. A lot of yield potential, actually. Those are pretty good looking ears. And you may remember from discussions that we've had in the past that this plant will give up everything to finish off this ear. It will literally kill itself to get this thing to the finish line. The other thing I want you to notice is behind me we have a lot of brown. And you may be tempted to think that that's purely maturity related. It's not. What's going on here is actually gray leaf spot. And you can see very clearly those small rectangular lesions on this plant right here. And if you look at the dead leaf material on the upper part of the plant and you hold that up to the sunlight so that you backlight that leaf material, you will oftentimes still find those small little rectangular lesions easily observed as you backlight that leaf. And so we have very clear evidence that in this field, gray leaf spot had a very good time running from the bottom of this plant all the way to the top. It's knocking out leaf material, and we run a risk for stalk cannibalization issues out in this field. And that is the management issue I want you to keep in mind for those untreated fields. We want to go out every week and a half and monitor these fields to see what's happening for stalk integrity. Yes, we can push plants off center, but I also want to encourage you to count off 25 plants throughout the field in various locations, many different locations, and squeeze those stalks with your finger and thumb and see if those stalks easily collapse. Also, make sure that you watch the root system, the brace root system of those plants. See if you see any evidence, as you see right here, of a diseased plant, of a plant that's cannibalized itself. You can see in this example a very healthy root system and one that's withered up and dried up and become rather spongy. Oftentimes, brace root systems starting to wither is our first indication that stalk integrity issues are coming, and so keep watching that. Don't be afraid to cut off plants. Cut them open. As you can see right here, look for those vascular systems that remain minus pith. Look for that internal part of the plant that's lost all that white tissue and only has those straw-like vascular bundles. Watch those every week and a half so you can get a very good feel what's happening in that field for stalk and root integrity so that you don't have harvestability issues in these untreated fields. One final thing I'm thinking about, don't beat yourself up if you decided not to spray a field. This was a complicated year to make management decisions in. We had to make big guesses as far as what we thought would happen with yield potential. We were handed some very tough conditions that we planted into. We had some very dry conditions in July, believe it or not, that really hammered this crop as far as stress goes. And a lot of people thought that maybe it wasn't worth the investment. I get that decision. I get why people would have gone there. Don't beat yourself up if you did that. Instead, see what happens yield difference-wise in treated versus untreated fields and formulate your plan for 2020. How are you going to approach this issue in the next growing season? In the meantime, though, I stress again, watch those fields, watch stalk integrity, keep on top of it so that we don't run into harvestability issues during this very long, what's destined to be a very long 2019 harvest. Thanks a lot. We'll talk with you soon.
That concludes this Pioneer Growing Point Agronomy video podcast. Visit our page on pioneer.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more agronomy insights.